Well, good morning. So what I thought I'd do is come somewhere a bit more secluded, just so I can stretch off my aching hips and my aching back and my aching wrists. So we're just outside of Columba Park, and as you can see, I've got the R7. My mate Gaz has had this bike for a while and I've never had the chance to ride it. He's out in Norway at the moment and the bike needs MOTing. So what I thought I'd do is bring it out for a couple of miles out to Columba Park, take it through a couple of twisties and then down some dual carriageways just to give it a run out. And basically it's my first chance to ride the Yamaha R7. So let's take it through a ride, let's take it for its MOT, fingers crossed it passes, and yeah, let's get on the way. Well, good morning everybody, welcome back to the channel. So on this channel you're used to seeing me on sports tourers such as the GSX 650F and the Yamaha Tracer 900. But today what I thought I'd do is take my mate's motorbike, the Yamaha R7, for its first MOT. So if you're interested to see how a 50-year-old bloke with dodgy knees and dodgy hips fares on the smallest sports bike in the world, then stay with me. Sounds lovely with the Scorpion on it, just absolutely sounds beautiful. And the good thing about having an R7, the midpoint between the R1 is just, you're not overwhelmed with bags of power. I mean, what are you talking, 80 odd brake horse? It's nearly an A2 spec bike, so it's just manageable. It's a beautiful little bike, it looks awesome with that single headlight and the sleek fairing. The underslung exhaust looks the part, and you can tell it's geared up for sports bike riding with the upside down forks and the adjustable shock. I mean, the ride is harsh, and for these roads in the UK with the stupid way that they patch repair all the roads, I don't think a harsh sports bike is the most comfiest way of getting around. But who needs comfort when you're on a beautiful pedigree sports bike like the Yamaha R7? Lovely TFT display screen there, and it's got the gear indicator on it, fuel indicator, and that's all you need on the bike. You don't need anything else. You don't need to worry about all the electronic bells and whistles. You just need to jump on it and just ride it. And that's what this bike does really well. And that rolling on in third gear, I'm so about 48 mile an hour, and then just that roll on, and it's not instant bags of power that's going to throw you back in your seat. It's just a lovely mid-range power curve, if you know what I mean. It's just a lovely sounding bike, a lovely looking bike, and I would say a pleasure to ride, but it's not. I'm in bits. When I'm slow speeds on this, it is killing my wrists and it's killing my shoulders. But as soon as you get up and you start a bit of wind in your chest, the bike becomes comfy. It's a Saturday afternoon, so it's quite busy with traffic, and I wish it wasn't, because this road is a great road to sort of stretch the Yamaha's legs. I love the sound of this this twin engine. I think it's the CP2. So on the Tracer I've got the CP3 engine, and this is the CP2. I think it's taken from the same engine they've got in the Tracer 700. I mean, it's a totally different power delivery than the Tracer, and a totally different engine sound, and the characteristics of the engine is just totally different, and I love it. I think it's beautiful. I think this low down torque, there's not bags of torque. I'll tell you what though, this bike is so light. I mean, it's about 188 kilograms, and that's wet, and it's just so easy to manage. I mean, you can almost pick it up, it's that small. But the braking on this bike is phenomenal. Them big 4-pot calipers on the front. I could sit in third gear on this all day. I've got enough power and enough torque. I've got the engine braking for the bends, and then I've got enough power just to flick it in and flick it out of the bends, and I don't think you need anything more than third gear on this. Like I say, it's not screaming at you and it's not forcing you into the back of the saddle. It's just that really, really smooth power delivery in fourth that just rolls on. And it's just a lovely, smooth sports bike to ride, I think. Yeah, I think I'm definitely in that stage of my life now where I need I need something upright. This is killing me, this stop-start traffic on this bike is absolutely killing me. I'm in so much pain. I need a coffee and a breakfast. Here we go. This is us at CMC Motorcycles in Chesterfield, Cray Cross. And because it's a beautiful day, there are so many bikes here today. So that's the bike past its MOT. So it's good news for me mate Gaz, and good news for my stress levels. But thankfully it has passed. I've had a glorious breakfast and a nice cup of coffee here at CMC in Clay Cross, and it is heaving today, absolutely heaving. And as a 50-year-old, I'm not exactly Yamaha's target audience for the R7, and jumping off the Tracer onto this, so different. But I get it. So it's not built for comfort, it's built for being agile and nippy, and I'm not comfortable whatsoever. In fact, my knees and my spine are going to write a strongly worded email to Yamaha complaining. Being on this bike reminds me of why I got into motorcycling in the first place, and it wasn't for sitting in an armchair in absolute comfort touring Europe. It was for the actual thrill of riding and being on two wheels. And you need a bike that excites you, and a bike that you can ride just to have fun, and that's what this bike does. It delivers in spades with being agile, nippy, mid-range power, and it's fun, absolutely fun. I mean, I've been on this bike for just an hour, and it's been an hour of agony, but it's been enjoyable. Coming from the Tracer was like being in a comfortable armchair. On this bike I feel like I'm in a straitjacket at full throttle. It's not a very good looking bike, the Tracer, but it turns some heads, you know. Put in your comments below if you know the workshop area in the Chesterfield area. Put in the comments below of roads that I should have ridden round here. Right, let's take it for a blast up the motorway. See if we can stretch its legs. Give it a nice run out. Right, let's give it some beans. Oh, that sounds beautiful. So I'm doing what, 75 miles an hour, I'm just giving it a bit of a brap up the motorway. And it is lovely. It needs to be ridden, this bike. A quick blast up the motorway. Oh, it's beautiful. The gear shift is so smooth, and the power delivery is just lovely and smooth, buttery smooth, this bike. Motorways are no fun whatsoever, are they? But it needed it. I needed it. So I'll give it some beans down the motorway, and there's no power at the top of the rev range. It sort of just peters off, and there's like a big gap of power delivery towards the top end. The low down grunt and the mid-range grunt in third and fourth gear, phenomenal. What a bike. It's not overly powered like an R1 or a Kawasaki ZX-10R or whatever I've ridden before. It's not a hooligan bike, so it doesn't make you want to do silly things. It's a manageable sports bike that's not going to get you into too much bother, but you can still have bags of fun on it. So I've done a bit of everything today. I've done a bit of motorway, I've been a bit of town riding, bit of long twisties. So in the short time that I've had the bike, I've put it through its paces a little bit, not too much, not how sports bikes should be ridden, and I am not a sports bike rider whatsoever. So there's been no knee downedness, if that's even a word. I think with an inline 4, it screams, doesn't it, at the top end, and if you've got a decent exhaust on it as well, it makes you want to make it scream. Whereas this bike, I think, because of the low down grumble and that, almost like I've said before, that growling, that bear growling at you, it's not a hooligan bike whatsoever. It's just a very, very good looking Yamaha R7. Aesthetically, it's just good looking. It's beautiful, and it rides so nice. I just wish I was 20 years younger, had better knees and better hips, because I would just love this bike. Well, thank you so much for coming out with me and watching a man in pain. Plenty more to come on the channel. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.